Hi Margie, hi Regina, hi Debbie. It's really nice to see you all. Thanks very much indeed for joining me again on our Peter Rabbit Odyssey. Well, Beatrix Potter Odyssey, really. Lots more creatures than just old Peter involved. Today, I've got something that I think is really exciting to show you, and it's the cover of the lapbook. It's gorgeous. Are you ready? You ready for it? It's really, really pretty and lovely. So, as you know, lapbooks fold in like that. Look at that. And then they fold in again. And this is it. Here's our lapbook. There's the spine with the three little characters down there. The front with Peter himself. The back has got Timmy Tiptoes on it. It's all crackled, all everywhere it's crackled. And then this rick-rack effect edging on it. It's just beautiful. I really love it. And then inside we've got Jeremy Fisher on his lily pad and Jemima Puddle Duck. So there we are. That's our lapbook, the base of our lapbook. And I must say that I have had absolutely nothing to do with it. This is all Mr. Fixit's work. He's done it all himself, all by himself. And what an achievement. It's just, I mean, that crackle itself, I mean, it's really, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's so in keeping with what we want. So there you go. That's where we were up to. So now there's nothing impeding my progress apart from me. So this is the bit that we did last time. You might remember it flips out, and Margie, I think it was, in fact I'm sure it was asking about measurements. And I tend not to give measurements because the journal that you're working on may well be a completely different size to the one that I'm working on. So it's kind of work it out yourself if you like. But I know that doesn't suit everybody. And Margie was getting a bit flustered that she didn't know the measurements. So the whole page itself, well, the bit that I'm interested in is 9 1/8. And I'm really sorry. Yeah, 9 1/8. Yeah, I'm really sorry if you work in centimetres, but I just don't. My brain just doesn't work in centimetres. And these are 4.5 by 3 3/4, and they're all the same, all these three here. And then these envelopes, I think they're a pretty standard C5, are they called, I think? But they measure 4.5 by 6 1/4. And then these are all different sizes, the journaling cards, just to fit into there. So that's that, that's that, and that's that, that, and that. Lovely. So that's a nice element, I think. The string just goes round to tie it shut. And you might remember we've got the Tom Kitten book that I've shown you before, and he gets attached with ribbon down there. The ribbon comes out through these holes and he gets tied up like that. So we're making progress, and today I thought we'd tackle the man himself, Peter. And it's quite a complex one today. It's so complex that I've had to do a mock-up for myself because my brain wasn't thinking. You're welcome, Margie. I'll try and remember as I go along. Isn't it lovely, Regina? It's gorgeous. I love it. Thanks, Debbie. I'll try and remember as I go along, Margie, to give the measurements. But, as I say, bearing in mind your journal may well be a very different size to this one. So this is what we're doing today. Flippity, 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 flop. There's just loads to do. So let's start with the... I know what this measures, so I don't really need this anymore until I've finished this Peter Rabbit element. And I doubt we're going to get him finished today because, like I say, it's really quite complex. I want to put this somewhere safe. Give it to Mr. Fix-It, he can put it somewhere safe. So we're going to start with this base part here, which has got a pocket on it, and inside the pocket it's got a tag. Now that tag that I made for my mock-up isn't wide enough, and it wants to keep flying out, so and I need to remember when I do that to make it a bit wider. So I've printed off some pieces of paper to get us going. I will say that what I've printed off, it's not actually on paper, it's on, is this 250?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So this is 250 grams paper, so it's quite, it's card, I guess, thin card. And these are the images that I've printed out from my... Hi Flo, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. This is the one that we're talking about today. Right, this is what it's called, The Tales of Beatrix Potter. And this one happens to be a 4-disc collection. You can buy them singly, and they come up on eBay more often as singles. And this is the one, the Tale of Peter Rabbit. It's called a crafting CD-ROM, and it's by Crafter's Companion. Now, I think they brought this out about 2009, so it's quite old now. And it tells you very clearly that it doesn't work on Apple computers. That's not strictly the case. I've only got Apples. I've got no Windows CDs or PCs or laptops or anything. And you can easily get to the JPEGs. What you can't get access to on the iMac is some of the card layouts and things like that that you do, which, you know, doesn't bother me anyway. I don't want to do them. But I can certainly get to all of the images. So it's worth, that's what it looks like. And I think it's worth having a little look if you're interested in doing this sort of thing. I mean, I've got loads of them now. Peter Rabbit, Jeremy Fisher, Timmy Tiptoes. Blimey. I've got loads. Tom Kitten, Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. So now you know what to look forward to, what's coming up. But I think they're really well worth it. And to be honest, once you've put them onto your computer and you've made another copy just to be safe, then sell them on again, because they're not going to be doing you any good anymore. You've got all you need. So these are some of the papers from that disc. They say to print out on A4. I've done these on A3 and they're absolutely fine. I can't see anything wrong with them. I have printed quite a few out as well on A4, and you know, but they're lovely papers. I mean, that one's gorgeous, and that one. So I've done them double-sided because for some parts of this I do need it double-sided. So let's see what we're going to put on the absolute bottom. Well, I'll do like that. Hi Laura, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We're getting quite a little club together here. It's lovely. Oh, choices. Choices. That's nice. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use that one, I have decided. Right, so the way my printer prints, I can't do borderless, so I'm going to have to chop off this border first. So it doesn't get included in plans later on, and I cut something out and it's got a border on it. That would be awful. I've got a new blade in my rotary cutter. We're ready to go today. I've been watching quite a lot of the Scrap Queens videos on YouTube, And I must say, I can't help but be influenced by her work. She is, I mean, she's something else. She's fantastic. The work that she produces is gorgeous. I love it. I love the sort of precision of it, the engineering of it, really. Could I borrow your long ruler, please?
Did we ask what weight is the paper stock?
250 grams. 250. This card is. I do use other stuff that's 160, and when I do, I'll point it out to you. Thank you. So this just to get rid of this this bit down the side. But cut it off square if you can. Give yourself a fighting chance. Yeah, and this one. I'm not saying that we're going to use all this paper, but, you know, at least it'll have all the edges taken off when we do. So we'll be prepared. Normally I do all this sort of stuff before I do a live, but I didn't get round to it today, and to be honest, it's all part of it anyway, isn't it? I don't know where to put this out of here. I'm running out of places, people. Right, then. So I know that I need this 9 and, I just wrote this down somewhere. Yeah, here we are. 9 1/8 by 5 3/4. Okay? All right, Margie? And anybody else? 9 1/8 is the height of it, so I want the pattern to be going this way, and 5 3/4 across. Let me just check that I've got no bits of flippiness going on this. No, it's just square. I'll tell you, I have never before had to make a mock-up of a page before. 5 3/4. Honestly, aren't I awful? I can't remember things at all. 5 3/4. So that's this line here that I'm squaring it up with. I'm squaring it up along the bottom as well, just to make sure we're really, really square. Because this is the back page. If it isn't square, we're going to end up in trouble. 5 3/4, right. And 9 1/8. Right, I'm going to have to use my quilting ruler for that. This little one here. 9 1/8. It's an odd measurement, isn't it? It's not one that immediately springs to mind for what you'd use for a book, but it's what it is, so it's what it is. Actually, books come in...
standard sizes.
Yeah, they do. They come in standard sizes. And these ones, I think, are called... Royal. Yeah. Yeah, here's one that's waiting to be made into a journal. It is an Elm Creek Quilts sampler. And for my shame, I haven't even read it. But that's waiting to be gutted and made into a journal like we've made. Right, so keep all your bits and bats. So that's our back page. Lovely. So we've cut something, so we need to ink it. I've got to get my head round thinking this. Otherwise I end up, it's not... I stick something on it, hasn't been inked, and I can't get to it now. Oh, no. So I'm using blue ink for Peter Rabbit, because he wears a blue coat.
I mean, normally we wouldn't use such good condition books. It's just we can't get to.
Yeah, I mean, normally, what Justin's saying is normally we'd use books on their last legs. But because of lockdown, they've taken all our charity shops away from us. So we're having to use slightly better books that I did actually own, you know, and want to read. Do lots of prototypes. Yeah, I think you're right. But the problem I've got is that I've made changes to my prototype. And I'm hoping that I can remember what they actually are. So I guess the next thing that goes on here is this pocket. Right, okay. And there's a pocket on the pocket because I don't want you getting bored. So that pocket measures, I think it would be best if I just went for it.
Regina wants to know if you've been on them.
I just need to find out how to do the first part of the lap book, of like putting them together. Okay, Regina, right, I hear you. Would you like Mr. Fix-It to do a live for you? Do you like that? He gets very nervous, but I'm sure he'd do it. Because there's a kind of, I know there's a way of doing it. I don't actually do it because I have Mr. Fix-It. So I'm just going to cut this off again. It is an important part of making a lap book that you do have actually, a book. It's all very well filling it, but you do need the framework, don't you? You need the construction, as it were. Just check that I've taken off enough. Yeah, no, I haven't. I thought that might be the case. Line up your line straight along the bottom, and then it's bound to be straight up there. And don't worry, the whole thing isn't just going to be me cutting bits of, well, will be me largely just cutting bits of paper up, but okay, so we've got our paper all patterned. It is nicer when you've got a printer that does borderless. My little A4 printer does, but this one doesn't. Right, so the question is, the pocket, we want it going this way, don't we? We don't want it going, no, we want it going this way. So I want it, what's going on here? Yes, please, Mr. Fix-It. Oh. Sounds like I've been volunteered, but you are welcome. Be warned, though. I have a face. That is not true. I mean, it's absolutely not true that he's lovely, is Mr. Fix-It. He's the kindest, gentlest, sweetest man. And he puts up with me. What could be better? Right, so this prototype here measures... What does that measure? Slightly over 5.5. But I want to score in 1/2 inch each side. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that's my 1/2 inch there. Put a little mark. And come to there and put a little mark. And there is where I'll cut it. Now I want it to measure... Well, let's not get carried away. Let's just cut that first before we get too excited with ourselves. Too excited. Oh dear. It is an exciting thing to do, though, isn't it? When you're making journals, especially when you're starting a new one. Oh man, I get so excited. I wake up in the morning and I can't wait to get out of bed to start my journal. Do I do housework? No, not really. I do want the bare minimum. That's going to be the folded over part, and I nearly cut that off. So it's a good job that we didn't do that. This is where it needs cut off here. That mark that I made there. I bet you were all shouting at me as well. Don't cut it there. I wish I could hear you. A little touch more there. Right, I think we're about right there. So I'm just going to cut that off. And then with regards to how long we want it, I don't want it right to the end there because it's going to start creating a lot of bulk because this is folded over as well. So I'm going to do it to here in order to try and stop all that bulk that I normally end up with. And that's 6.5 inches to there. And there is nothing folded in top or bottom. So it's a straight 6.5 inches. Six and a half. Yeah, I'll see if I can get Justin sorted to do a live for you. He'll love it when he's doing it. So is that looking anything like right? Yeah, might be a bit fat, but it doesn't matter. Let's put a crease in it. It's going to fall off. So that looks like it's at 1/2 inch anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put this crease in at 1/2 inch. I love that blue on the other side. I think I might use it for the little pocket on the pocket, if you know what I mean. Right, so let's just check. Where's our here? Let's just check exactly where we need this to be. I want it just in from the edge, a tiny little bit. Just that much. No, you know, nothing. I mean, it's something, isn't it? So I want it creased there. Oh, hiya, Shaz. Who says hi? Oh, I thought you said Karen for some reason. So I'll do it there. So I'm going to score it there. That's where the fickle finger of fate has landed today. Fold that in. Crease it down with your bone folder. I think, you know, if you were to ask me what is like one of the single most things that you've got that you use, I'd say my bone folder. It gets used for absolutely everything. Right, so that's, yeah, that fits there. Where's our proper one? And that fits. Oh, you'd think that was made to fit there. Yeah, it was. So what I'm going to do with my scissors is just, this is the top, so I'm just going to cut down just from the very top down there a little bit. Just looks better when you look into it that you don't see those bits. Yeah, might be. Yeah, this is the top. This is the way this is going. I need to leave 1/2 inch there for the foldy over bit, but I'll stick this on after I've done the foldy over bit. Or I could stick it on now. It's going to be 1/2 inch. I mean, it's not going to be earth-shatteringly exciting. It's going to be 1/2 inch. So I'll just get that ready there, and I'll stick some, I'm going to stick this on with, I wonder. I think I'll use my 3-in-1. Just down the side. Ah, you see, you weren't going to tell me where you haven't inked it. So let's just wipe that off before it goes dry and sticky. You cut it, you ink it. The monkey would have learnt by now. The other thing I want to do is put a thumb hole in it. Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm only half organised. Not even half. Right, so that's up, that's up. So the thumb hole wants to go here because it's actually looking towards us. So I just need to find the middle of that. 1, 2, gosh, 1, 2, 1, 1, so it's there. Let's just make a little mark there. So that's the centre of my thumb hole. Just take your circular cutter out. I'm well organised today, aren't I? And cut that out of there. That's lovely. Ink round that little bit. If you can get in to ink it, so much the better. Because this is coming out from the bottom here. This bit here is the bottom. Right. Yeah, you see, I need to put a pocket on this before I put it on. You guys, tell me, please. Keep me informed as I'm going along. Alright, I've lost my pin now for my glue.
It's underneath you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a bit tight now. Right, a pocket goes on here. What a blessing that I actually did the flipping mock-up, because otherwise I've got some images somewhere. Some actual images. What do you think of this fella? It's big, isn't he? I think he's going to go on our front page. Right, here's the images. Right, so this is going to be, one of these images is going to be our pocket. So let's cut it out. This paper is 160 grams. It's just paper. It's nice and thick, and it's a nice quality paper, and it really does show the colours up well when you print. Right. Okay. So is that going to go on there? Yeah, it is. But I need to back it with something because it is only that thinnish paper. So if I've got any coffee stain, yeah, look at that. Perfect for the job. I'm going to back this, but I'm going to allow, it can go right to the top, but I want to allow 1/2 inch to fold over again. You with me? And for those of you who are measuring as we go, this is 3.5 inches by 3.5. So it's 3.5 square. So on 1/2 inch there, I'll put a bottom on this as well. So I'll have 1/2 inch there and 1/2 inch there. So just need to slice that off. Slice it down here. Guys, when you work, is your desk or your table or wherever you work at, is it a mess? Or, you know, do you just go and you get out exactly what you need and then you put it away when you've finished? And what I'm asking is it just me? Because I seem to be able to get in a mess just walking past my desk. Right, so we've got this. Got our image, which is going to go there. So just need to make a mark of where we need to put our, what do you call that? Bending? Scoring, thank you. The good thing about these lap books, talking about getting a slump halfway through when you're sick of the sight of looking at a blooming bird or whatever it is, the lap books, particularly these ones, the Flower Fairies and Peter Rabbit, etc., each new part of the book is a new different character. And yeah, I mean, they're ostensibly all the same, but it is a new character, so it's something new and exciting. Excuse me. Right, so let's just score down where we've got these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's a good half-inch guess there. I shall leave it that way because I've got the line up that end. Is that there? Let's just check. Let's just check which line we want. That one, I think. Yeah, it's a good guess with the half inches today, guys. And then half an inch along the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's so accurate today. It's ridiculous. Well done, me. Right, I prefer that side, so we'll fold this side in. Fold and score, fold and score, fold this one up all the way and score. Then you need to just cut your corners out. Can you pass the lap book over and I'll show the people who haven't seen it. I know a lot of you were here at the beginning. Well done. But for those of you who aren't, I just want to show you what the lap book actually looks like nowadays. Here it is. The front is Peter. Down the spine we've got these three little Tom Kitten and Hunker Munker and Miss Tiggywinkle. Timmy Tiptoes on the back. And then you open it up and this is the interior, and Jeremy Fisher and Jemima Puddle Duck. And then it opens up and it will be full of our loveliness. This here has got, I can't remember where I put it now, this. It goes down there.
Can't see that.
Oh, you can't see it. That's no point showing you that then. This piece goes down here and it has the ribbon attached, which then holds in the Tom Kitten book. So this section now is complete. The section we're working on now is this section, the Peter Rabbit section. So we're making progress. Definitely we are. That's the one that I did last time, which I liked actually. I like the way it's turned out. So Mr. Fix-It did that all on his own, and I am extremely proud of him. Extremely. Right, so here we are. We've got our pocket. That's going to get glued on there, and if there's any to trim off, well, we'll just trim it off. Which way up does that go? That way? Yeah, I think it's that way. Okay, so let's finally get gluing. We've been doing all this cutting and messing around and chit-chat. Chit-chat doesn't get junk journals made, does it? But it's fun. I know that some people don't like chit-chat. They're just like, give me the measurements. You know, show me what you're doing and don't bother speaking to me. I'm not like that. I'm just not. So that's the bottom. So this goes onto here, like so. Oh, here comes my next supply of coffee stain paper. Just to fix it. It's been, yeah, look at that. It's been coffee staining today for me. It's just so good. So ink it. I've cut it, so I'm inking it. Get that through my head. Right. fine, I think. So the question is, do I need to add any braid, ribbon, anything of any sort to it? It's going there. I could put ribbon on it. I've got this one. It's a bit thick. This one. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? Quite like that. What I don't want to do is put the ribbon all the way around there, because then when you bend it in, you're bending your ribbon in as well, and it's just way, way, way too thick. So that's doable. And I've also got a little picot one here as well. That one, which I may actually prefer. I was thinking originally, let's tell you what I was thinking, just to prove I was thinking, that I could put that on there and then get some rickrack like there is on the front, stenciled on the front of the book, and put that along there. I don't know, what do you think, guys? That's a bit much, really. It's a bit much at this stage. I think I will put lace on though. I'm going to put that on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do that right. Oh, well, I would do it right now. I've had a bit of a collapse. I've got all my paper pads down here, and I promised Mr. Fix-It the other day that I'd have a tidy up. And since I've done that, everything's blinking not right. And furthermore, may I say, I'm not even one bit tidier than I was. Right, I'm just going to use a straight stitch along here. I'm going to stretch out the ends there, but I'm not going to sew on them. So I'm holding it in place with my finger. Just going to move my needle across a little bit. Reverse, no, I won't reverse yet, go straight. Reverse a little bit, and straight. Do all of you sew in your journals, or do you stick, or stick and sew? I like a bit of sewing, I must say, in my journal. It's just something else, isn't it? It's just another little bit of something. Right, well, that's not too clever. It's brilliant. Brilliant. Woman's a genius. What are you talking about? So cut that off, level with the edge of the pocket. Cut your tags off your thread ends. Lovely. See all these bits here, these tiny little bits like this, that you think have no use whatsoever. On the next live, I will show you what to do with these. As it is, they go in my, what I call my snippet box. But this is one of the things that I do with them. So it's a paper clip with snippets on, so it works, fully functioning. So I'll show you how to do those. And I also do what I call a snippet roll. So I'll show you that too. Right, now I could get away with sewing this down, actually. I'm just going to put a little drop of glue. When you're folding your pockets up or envelopes or anything like that, make sure that you put your side ones in before you put your bottom one on, because that way then you've got a nice little pocket for things to go into. If you do it the other way around, like that, when you slide your things in, they're going to get caught on that, and it's going to annoy the living daylights out of you. So sides first, bottoms last. Nice little mantra for you. Sides first, bottoms last. So it doesn't take much glue, just a wee little drop. Just glue that down, hold it for a sec. Hold it for 2 secs. If I can get that pin in there with one hand. Oh, look at that. Right, okay. So now I need to decide where they're going to go, and I'm saying I'm going to sew them on. I don't really know if I am. Just going to cut these out here, down, away from the top. What do you think, guys? Do you think I should sew it on or just glue it on? I think sew it on, actually. Yeah, I'm in a sort of sewy mood, so I'm going to sew it on. Where's my little ruler? Here we are. So that is, as it stands, that's 1 inch in, and that's nearly 1 inch in. So let's get it level at the top first. That would be an idea. Yeah. Right, I think that's there. I think that's where it needs to go. So I'm just going to put a little mark here. So that's where it needs to sit onto. But you won't see that mark because it's sort of in the shadow of the pocket. Now I know that some of you are really, really good at seeing when things are straight and when they're not. Alas, I am not one of those people. It just needs to go that way, just the merest touch. And that's 1 inch. Oh, that's less than 1 inch, so it needs to come this way. Is that right? That doesn't look right to me now. I'm going to put it where it looks right, which is there, and then measure it. Inch. Nearly 1 inch. So just like that. How's about that? What does that look like? It's level all the way down. That'll do me. Just put a mark on there. Right. God blimey. What's going on today? I'm just going to put a little bit of blue glue stick. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, I'll show you in a sec what it is. Okay, I think that'll do. And that'll just aid us when we're sewing, because it'll just start to shift around on me, and, you know. It is Boss Stick Blue Stick. And I have tried everything. I've tried, you know, the usual ones, Yoo-Hoo, no brand, whatever. And this is the one I like best. It goes on blue, it dries clear, and it doesn't have all those big lumpy bumpy bits in it. You know what I mean. Right, I'm going to do this with zigzag all the way around this pocket. Yeah. One over moment where I put that upside down. Right, let's have a look then. Everything's inked, everything's sewn. Looks quite straight to me, I would say. I bet you're sitting at home thinking, my goodness, that woman's got a wonky eye. Yeah, it's possible. Loads of stuff about me is wonky, so it's very possible that my eyes are wonky too. Right, throw your threads in the bin, guys. You don't want to risk the wrath of the person that does the hoovering, getting those caught round the brush. And by the person that does the hoovering in this house, can you guess who it is? Well, it's not me. Right, so there's our little pocket. Oh, look at it, it looks nice. And that's going to go 1/2 inch from there, like that. I am going to glue that. I'm not going to sew it because it's a bit near the edge, and you run the risk of distorting the edge with sewing. So then what I need now is a tag to go in here. I can stick this down now, definitely. So I'm going to use a bit of snail. I've got it inked, haven't I? Yeah. So I'm just going to use a bit of snail. I need to cut the top bit on off, don't I? And across the bottom as well, otherwise everything will fall out. Yeah, just checking. And I'm also just going to use a little bit of tacky glue as well, just to be on the safe side. You don't really need it with snail, but I like being safe and knowing that when I stick it on, it's stuck firmly. Right, then the way to get this at exactly 1/2 inch is to get your ruler, put it on 1/2 inch like that, so it's right on the edge of your paper, and it says 1/2 inch. Your ruler says 1/2 inch. So that, I think, is there. So then I'm just going to pop this on, and it's almost to the edge on both sides. Oh, come on. You're getting the feeling that today is one of those days. Right, let's square this up so I'm not blinking. Let's use... I'll use this one. Right, so that's squared up there very nicely. 1/2 inch, just maybe even a smidge over. Let's put this on. I think that's right there. I think that's okay. Yeah, hooray! Finally, after all this time, we have a pocket. But we have a pocket on a something else, so we're doing all right. So the next thing to do, I'm doing this systematically. I'd like to sort of leap ahead and do, you know, all the groovy, exciting stuff, but I'm doing it systematically. So the next thing that we need is a great big tag for in here. And we need it to measure. Let's select what paper we're going to use. I quite like that blue gingham, actually. What was it on the back of? I am a sucker for gingham. Oh, that's nice as well. All right, it's on the back of this one. So let's just see what size we need this tag to be. So I'm not measuring this, Margie, or anybody else, because it's a meaningless measurement. It's going to be just so it fits inside our pocket here. So just mark it with a pencil, and that will give you the right measurement. So I want it that wide, and I want it won't go right to the bottom because you remember we put snail on there, but I do want it to come pretty close to the top, so I'm going to measure there. Okay, so that should give us a square tag, but we aren't going to leave it square, so don't worry about that. Oh, where's my 12 by 12, which is actually a 13 by 13. It'd be great if you're following along with me. I'd absolutely love it if you were. I'd be delighted. Get that square, get it square up there. Yeah. This is nice, isn't it? A nice colour. And then we'll cut it off this way where we marked, like so. If you've got quilting rulers, they're great because you can line up your edge with it, and theoretically you can't go wrong. I can always go wrong, of course. It's just the way I am. Right, let's see if this actually fits into our... oh, look at that. Once again, you'd think it was made for it, wouldn't you? Okay, that's as far as that wants to go, which is actually right on the top, but I don't want it that... I don't want it that close. So I'm just going to cut it to there, to that line there. Let's line up that line and see if it's square. Hey, you know, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Right, so what I want to do is, so just check that. Yeah, that's lovely. I want to put like a curly sort of top on here. First of all, I'm going to back it just with coffee stain paper. Let's see what you're saying. Let's see what you've got to say. Hate that damn thing. Which damn thing? Oh, the sewing machine. Yeah, they can have minds of their own. I mean, I've been sewing and had sewing businesses actually, and even I sometimes want to take my sewing machine and chuck it out the window, to be fair. Right, so this is the side we want, so this is the side we want stuck down onto the coffee stain paper. I'd love to have your quilt rulers. Well, you see, that's what I'm saying. I used to have a business. I've had a couple of businesses actually that are involved sewing, but the quilting rulers are just brilliant for this. The problem is they're really not cheap. They're not inexpensive at all. So I've really looked after mine. Oh yeah, forgot you were in the naughty corner. Oh, Regina, that's really bad being in the naughty corner. Yeah, no, it's not just you, Deborah. It's really not. Michael's has a coupon for what, Deborah? For what? Share it with everybody in the US. I can't make good use of it at the moment, of course, because I'm in the UK. Will everybody put on where they're from, please? Just... Deborah, that's funny. Start off with good intentions and become Mrs. Angry. So what I always do when I'm doing something like this is I stick the bit that I've already cut out onto the paper and then cut it out. I find you get a much tidier job than measuring, no matter how accurate you are. And this way it will be exactly the same size as the top bit, if you see what I mean. I have a quilt ruler and it's great. Yeah, it is, Deborah, really is. Because it gets, you know, you're square every time. And for the likes of me with wandering eyes, it's really good. Wandering eyes. Right, so that's our, so let's ink that round 3 sides. So we've done it. It might remind us to ink the rest when we come to this stage. So we can ink the long ones. This is a really juicy ink pad, and I can't understand why, because I've had it at least 5 years. And it's been open all that time, you know, I mean, lid on, but open. So, I don't know, obviously just likes staying nice and moist. Right, so with a piece of copy paper or any scrap paper that you have to hand, just
some locations.
Devon, yes, Shaz, definitely Devon. Oh, Deborah, I didn't know you from the UK. Oh, Charlotte, Barnsley. Don't get Mr. Fix-It Started on chops, I knew it was coming. Right, so that's the width of our card. So I don't want that bit. So I'm just folding that out of the way, I just don't need it. I told the hubs I will camp out the night before to make sure I was in the store. Our HL in Columbus, Georgia is still closed. I don't know what HL is.
Hobby Lobby.
Oh, Hobby Lobby, oh yeah. Right, so what I need to do now, well, I'll just chop this off, otherwise it's going to get it's going to get dirty. Down and dirty. So that is waste. So this is the size of our thing, so I'm going to cut it in half. No, not cut, I'm folding it, as you can see, in half. And then I can draw my design that I want, which I want it to be something like you can feel the concentration, can't you? Something like that. Now that's a bit short, so I'll have it coming over a bit, I think. And maybe a bit more there. Yeah, I'll give that a try. I'll cut it out. It'll either be wrong or right. I mean, you can make up whatever sort of pattern you fancy. I haven't got one of those things that cuts dies out, so I have to go by eye. So there we are. I don't think that's too bad actually. I think that's okay. So let's just transfer that onto our top of our tag. You guys that are in the UK, have you been following Kirsty? And for you guys not in the UK, I'll tell you about Kirsty. She is the queen of British crafting, I would say. And she's been doing a series whilst we're all on lockdown to amuse us, making crafts and things like that. And she's had her children, she's got 2 boys. She's had them doing crafts and stuff as well, which is really nice to see. I mean, where would we be if we didn't do crafts? Especially during this period. We'd be doolally. Yeah, I think that's all right. I quite like it. Yeah, okay. I do like this gingham look as well. I'm quite sure that at this stage you lot can do a much better job than me. But you can leave it square if you really don't fancy doing anything like this on it. Nothing wrong with that either. Right, okay, let's have a little look, see? So here's a pocket, goes in there. That's where it wants to stop. Oh, look. I'm only laughing because it's right. And, you know, it's seldom really that things go right for me on lives. I have a history with lives, let's say, of things going horribly wrong. I remember once doing a dry rub-off. No, get your mind out the gutter. It's like acetate sort of thing that comes off. I can't describe it, and I'm not telling you to go and watch the video because it was just singularly awful. I couldn't get the thing off. It all wrapped up and caught round my hand. And I was going, Mr. Fix It, Mr. Fix It. It was too late. It was ruined, rubbish. But transpired later on, the chap who we'd bought them off, the company we'd bought them off, sent us an email saying, oh, I'm terribly sorry, but those dry rub-offs that I sent you have proved to be a faulty pack. So it was never going to work. It wasn't my fault. Right, so barring putting something on there, which I probably will, but I haven't decided what yet. This page is now finished. So we need to move on. What time are we at? Oh, I'll just carry on for a little while just till I get this next page in. Because otherwise we've done very little today, really. Apart from gas. Talk, that is. Right. So we've done that page. There's the pocket. That's the pocket. So the next one is that a full? It's just short. It's about the same width as that pocket, but a little bit shorter than this. So that was 9 1/8, wasn't it? I seem to remember. 9 alive. Got to do some thinking. Oh, I'm going to use this because it's lovely. Right, so I need it. Oh no, I've got to go through all this thinking. Cutting off performance.
I can do that if you've got something else to do.
No, not really. I don't think. I need this to measure the next bit. Have you lot come across stacking envelopes before? Have I shown you them before? I might have done, I can't remember, but this next page involves stacked envelopes, which look very nice when they're done. This is nice paper, isn't it? Till it gets serious when I have to stand up. Oh, you're only getting my head. Sorry, guys. All I'm doing is cutting the narrow bit down there, but it's kind of easier if I stand up. Okay, sitting down. Right then, let's just measure it by using this as our measurement, so we don't have to get hung up on 1/8 of an inch and stuff like that. So I want it slightly shorter than this. So that's that there. But I want half. Excuse me. I could feel that coming on. I thought it might go away, but it didn't. So I want an additional 1/2 an inch, which is to there, because I want to fold it over. Is that right? I want it to about there and 1/2 an inch. Yeah, that's fine. And then I want it just marginally narrower than that back page, but just. So there. So let's just check on our former. So this is it, just slightly narrower than the back page, and you know, you can confuse this, so I can confuse myself very easily. Right, yeah, I think we're right, so let's chop it at that. I can't see any marks on it. I reckon that's about square. This is lovely paper, isn't it? Forgotten the back. Oh, that's nice as well. I guess I thought so when I printed them out. I didn't think, oh, that's horrible paper, let's have that. Okay. Right, then I need to do a little bit of scoring. So that's going like that. So I need to score this. I might have that for the other side actually, I like it better. Right, so I need to score that at 1/2 inch and then stick it on. Sorry about that. The dog took the camera for a walk. So you're 1/2 inch down there. Okay. So I want this side to be the one in, so I need to fold it that way. And that goes onto that bit that we left. Remember, we left this bit for the pocket, so this bit goes onto there. So it will look like that when it opens, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to do the same thing with that again, a bit of snail and a bit of glue. Can't be too careful. These components that move, that are sort of interactive, they do get a fair bit of sort of use. You know, you flip them back and forward, back and forward. I've gone a bit wayward here with my snail. I don't quite know what's happened to him. And a little bit of glue. Hold it in place. Oh, thanks, Gina. Curbside delivery. I'm so the type that I've got to go and physically... Yeah, I think we all are, actually. People that do this, we're tactile people. I thought I toppled over. I'd like... Oh, you'd like to meet the dog. You're kind of welcome to him. He's had a troubled life, has Bob. We got him when he was, we think, about 4. And he literally would not stop barking. He just wouldn't. We even in the end, and I know it sounds cruel, but we got him one of those collars that shocks them every time they bark. It didn't make any difference at all. He was obviously a very distressed boy. Right, so that's that. Please take note of how square these edges are. Yeah, that's fine. Now then, so on this page here, we're going to have some stacked envelopes. And I'll show you these before I go, and then I'll disappear and leave you to enjoy your day. You need to get a template, and they're readily available. Look up envelope templates on Google. There are loads, but you might have to play around with the sizings. You want that size there to fit comfortably into your page, wherever it is. So once you've got the template, put it into Word or Photoshop or whatever it is that you use to mess around with your photos, and just drag it. I'm no good at measuring things like that on Photoshop, and rubbish. So I have to print it out and say, oh yeah, I need it a little bit bigger, oh no, whatever. That's just how I do it. So they will go there, and I have 3. I've got 2 that are ready, and one I'm just going to show you how to do. And they go kind of like that down the page, with this other one down the bottom. I'll just show you how I made it. It's not rocket science at all. That's the template that I've just shown you. I've cut it out of this paper. You literally just fold it in to where the little nicks are. And finger press it along. Actually, I should have inked that before I started doing it. So I don't know if everybody was on earlier when Mr. Fix-It was volunteered to show us how to make a lapbook. Sorry, I always say that. I think you're probably used to it by now, actually. So he has agreed to do it. Good lad. And I'll look forward to that, because I'm not sure how you make them, because I just say to him, I need a lap book that's that size, and one appears. Right, that's all we can do for the moment, and then we'll fold it in. You can Mr. Fix-It did these for me, and you can tell because they've got lines everywhere and stuff. I don't normally do that. You can just see where they go by the sort of little nick. You know what I mean when you see the template. Right, so that's that. So we're just going to ink all the way around there. Now the front doesn't get seen. It goes this way. So you don't need bother inking this side. You just need to ink this side around the edges. And around the top, because that will be likely to be seen. And this is just paper. For those of you asking what weight of stuff I was using, this is 90 grams paper, just ordinary photocopier. Right, so just glue that. And once again, sides in before your bottom comes up. Doesn't take much glue at all. Right, fold them in, fold that up. If your glue looks a little bit squishy, like it's going to come out, just pop a piece of acetate or something in there until it dries, but I'm sure you'll be fine. And then fold the top over. You'll see where it's supposed to fold. And follow that crease along. Right, so now we come to placing them in. Inside each envelope, I've put 2 sheets of this ledger paper, small ledger paper. I've left it white. I could have coffee stained it, but I just didn't want to. I like it like that. So each envelope is going to have 2 of those sheets in it. And they just fit, but they do fit. This one I'll just give a second to till it's dry. Right, so now we have to work out the measurements. So I've got one at the top and one at the bottom. So is that going to fit in between?
Debbie's got to go.
Who's got to go?
Debbie.
Debbie. Oh, well, thanks so much for joining us, Debbie. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. So I need these to be so as this tucks into the one on top of it. So that will dictate pretty much. So that's it. I'm wondering if I could have got away with another envelope there, actually. Yeah, this might be it for the day, because I think I need to cut another envelope. Yeah, I'll just show you on the Edith Holden one what it is that we're doing here. This is my Edith Holden lapbook. You might remember it, you might not. Where are the envelopes?
Behind number 3,
door number 3.
No, the other way.
This way. All right, here we are. Sorry, that's me knocking my mic. Here are the envelopes in the Edith Holden one, and I've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they fit nicely on that page, which is the same size. And they flip up, and they've got paper inside, and they've also got paper behind as well, which is what we're going to do with ours. But you see, we need, if you take that paper out, you'll see that this tucks into there, and that's what keeps it closed. So we need them to overlap, and I think with the 3 that we've got, we need 1 more. I mean, they're lovely, they're really lovely, I love them. I think I got this idea, I'm pretty sure I got this idea from a lady called G. Kerr, who does Happiness in Crafting. She comes up with some cracking ideas. Anyway, that's that. That's what I'm going to do. So by the time you join me again, that will be done, because that will be done. It's obvious what I'm doing now, so you can follow it, I'm sure. Just give that to Mr. Fix-It, and I'll just show you our new, outside of our new journal that Mr. Fix-It did all by himself. This is the Beatrix Potter one. He's crackled. Oh, he's crackled and decoupaged and stenciled that rickrack, and then there's the 3 on the spine. Timmy Tiptoes, and then you open it up and you've got Jeremy Fisher. Look at that crackle, guys, it's gorgeous. And Jemima Puddle Duck. And it all folds up like that. And what we have done so far is this that you watched me do the last time that we were playing. I'll call it playing. And this is the Tom Kitten book. And that goes down there with some ribbon in it and attaches to there. So we've got Tom Kitten. We've got this, which was Two Bad Mice. And then this, which is going to be Peter Rabbit. So he'll go down there, the envelopes will be up there, blah blah blah, and then you've got bits that fold out and whatever. Not much like the look of that, looks like it's upside down to me. Might have to give that a second thought, actually. I don't like the look of it. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's felt a bit hectic, like I wasn't always in control, but that's pretty normal for me. I'll see you now, not until Sunday, unless I do a video, a kind of catch-up video, which I possibly will do. But that's where we're at so far. So you can easily get caught up with that, I'm sure.
And the mock-up of where you
yeah, this is my mock-up here. Ooh. So I'll just move that out of the way. Right, this is my back page, which is the one that you've just seen me do with a pocket of big. Let's see. Why on earth don't you want to go in there? It's been in and out forever and a day. Right. Here we are. There's our tag that we've done. This one. This is the pocket. This is the little pocket. Then this bit gets stuck on with 1/2 inch grace. Then we've got the stacked envelopes, which I've just shown you what's going to happen. That folds over like that. Then we're at the front. That folds over and it's got 2 flippy pockets on it. This is an acetate window with a picture, a big tag. See if I can find a big tag. This big tag in behind it, like that, which is lovely, I think. I like that. And then a side tuck pocket here. 2 5.5 by 3.5 pockets there. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I think that's enough for Peter, unless I come up with some scheme of building more onto it, which, you know, wouldn't be unusual if that happened. So, thank you very, very, very much for joining me, everybody. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, Deborah. And thank you very much, Regina. I mean, Shaz, Debbie, thanks so much. It means so much to me. It really does. You made an old girl very happy. So there we are. I'll see you on Saturday at 2 o'clock. I might put out a video before then, but if you've subscribed and rung the bell and all that sort of stuff, you'll get to know when I put a video up. If you haven't subscribed, please, would you? It makes a huge difference to me. And yeah, everybody, have a great day. Take care, please. Bye.